there are a few issues that probably we would have liked to see. When we were requesting on question number 1, the annual consumption in Kenya, we did say the 2024 expectations. We say the annual consumption, and you have data for very many years, which you could actually even give us in form of an average. So we expected you to give us an average annual consumption for Kenya, not the expected fertilizer, uptake this year. So the report sent us on 2023, 2024. Would have been happier to see 2022, 23, 21, 22, so that we see how, this has been growing. Now, I'll take you back to your report on page number 7, which tackles the question number 4, the total payments made to the suppliers as a subsidy component in the financial years, which you have ably given us, that during the long rains and the short rains, our expectation was to match this with the financial year allocations, which you normally get. And for 2021-22, probably that was for one season given. I think when you look at the seasons, it's possible. When you look at the 2022-23, we voted 7.2 billion to the parcel fertilizer subsidy. We would like to know how much of that money went to the seasons, because you have given us in seasons. And when you give us in seasons, you are telling us to rethink season instead of thinking financial year, and we allocate money by financial year. We would have liked this information given per financial year so that we may be able to check what we've given or voted in the financial year is what has been used. So this doesn't inform us appropriately. Now, your arguments on question number 5, the SBL Innovate, here we are seeing it being called as soil conditioner for the first time. When KEPS came here, they talked about an organic fertilizer. An organic fertilizer, and they have a specific number. And they never talked about soil conditioner. So we would like to know specifically from NCPB, did you distribute the conditioner, or is it an organic fertilizer which had been tested and proven by KEPS? Did you get the documents from KEPS, or did you just agree with the supplier to basically use that, with the product that they gave you? Now, these are some issues on the report before we go to other questions. Now, I would like to refer to question number 9, and you spoke at length about KEFIS, the role of KEFIS, where you said apart from the contract and the contractual agreement, NCPB obtains KEF certificates of analysis from supplies from all the products, for all the products and so on. And then you said that KEFIS does actually analyze 500 samples every year. 500 samples, different samples, I presume, collected from across the country. We would like to know the extent to which KEFIS is thorough. If you are that thorough to pick 500 samples, could you have missed this conditioner? Or did you assume that the conditioner, because it's passing through NCPB, it's okay? At all, did you miss it? 500 samples every year. Now, I'll ask my members to, but before that, There is the issue of attribution. I would like to take you to question number 12. There's a question of attribution on question number 12. We are considering year 2022 as a normal year, based on the number of, years that we get a lot of rain and less rain. We are also considering the increase in acreage. And we are also considering the issue of fertilizer. So we see two things playing here. Can we be correct to say that fertilizer subsidy actually is the one that led to 75% increase in the yield? Or was it actually the rain? Because people have been growing in other areas and they dry up before. So we would like to know what proportion. We would like, you have experts. Let's let them go to the point of attribution. Let them attribute what went to, was as a result of extended rain and what was as a result of fertilizer. I think I'll ask my members to ask a few questions, and starting with Honorable Yegon.
Excuse me, Chairman. I don't know, Chair, if you may allow me, before we get to the members, be able to respond to those issues so that we don't get so mixed up, because we really want you to have an opportunity to interrogate this, and then we can move to the second phase.
Go on, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, I've heard you, and allow me say that the issues that you've raised are issues that also concern me. My apologies if the expectation, we've not met the expectation of the members in this response. However, on the plea for time to be able to specifically be able to give you supplementary answers, because I will require to deal with my team at the statistics department to be able to work out those actual figures, so that you are able to know the increase in production. Is it on the basis of the fertilizer applied? Is it on the basis of the acreage? And if the two contributes to increased production, then to what percentage? The average consumption of fertilizer per year, I think, is also something, Chairman, when you get back, we can write and send you information. Kimote, NSPMV took capital on board and on the basis of documents that were supplied. So we also require that, because they are not here, we get them. The bundle that we send to this committee must include their certificates, their PIN, and the commercial contract that there exists between us and between NSPMB and SBL Capital. So, Chairman, what I'm saying is that I'm willing to provide this information because I do not have it here, and the team that would have given us that answer is not with me here. Finally, Chairman, on issues on KEFIS, Chairman, allow me to use this opportunity also to ask, because there is relationship between the story out there that Kenyans are waiting an answer from on the issue of fertilizer with what KEFIS is doing, and that we've brought to attention that we do samples every year because of the advantage to have one of the very best minds within the ministry that runs this KEFIS, Professor Mutui, with me here. Chairman, I want you to let it go on record that I want him to really give to share its experience and knowledge for us who and the committee to even understand better the story about this fertilizer we are talking about, because he's an expert. And when we have an expert, some of us who are not can only be able to learn from that expert evidence that he may be able to give before this committee, because that is the area of specialization, Chairman. You can engage him because you are also Chairman and that is your area, but I would want to really ask Mutui to explain himself better to the question of number, I think, was it 10, 9, 12, on each what KFIS is doing, and this story of fertilizer, what it is, then Kimote will be able to give to answer that one. So, Chairman, allow me ask Mutui to be able to answer to that issue, because that is the city of standing.
What is out of order outside?
Chairman, I am a bit worried, Chair. I don't know what happened to our Honorable CS Linturi. You know, when he became a CS, we can only see a former shelf of him. He knows how we operate here. And Chair, you know, why we are here today and why Kenyans are waiting just to hear how did we get the so-called fake, whether it's fertilizer, now I've had another new name. How did we get there? How do we get out of there? The farmers who have been, who have bought this fertilizer, how do we compensate? You see what he has done? He's just gone the civil servant way. He's answered our questions one by one. Even the PS is not here. We're almost falling asleep. There's nothing much that the CS is telling us. So, Chair, my request is this: can we get serious? I know the expert, we have said he has an expert with KFIS here. He's also going to come with the scientific words and everything else, and we'll get lost somewhere. So, Chair, the biggest question is this: how did we get here? How are we going to get out of here? And I think that is why it should be as brief as that. Yeah. He has given a long and lengthy explanation, Chair, but it's just a very simple question. Did we monitor what we gave? Are we compensating? How do we make sure that we don't get back there? Are our farmers safe? We have seen all these things in the media. I would say there's that sense at the African media, whatever it was, God sent. I have also not seen the communication between the two. So as he answers and he gets the expert to answer us, Kenyans just want to know, Chair, in very simple terms, because I'm afraid when the experts start talking, he might also come with jargons of fertilizers and words and confuse us more. Is that how did we get here as a country? How do we get ourselves out of it? Are we going to compensate our farmers? As simple as that, Chair. So that we even know who colluded with these suppliers. Are they going to be arrested? Will they be taken to court? Do we even know who the officers are? So as simple as that, so that we don't really go into the civil servant way with a lot of long stories, but at the end of the day, we are not going to go anywhere, Chair. And that is just a concern as they prepare to answer. Yeah, please, CS, remember you also on this side one day, and you know the questions that Kenyans have. Don't take us around. What you have done in just the way the civil servants answer questions, and then you have done it, then you go.
Chair, has read a report from his team.
Chair,
we are still going to
I have a supplementary.
Yeah.
You know, my sister here was asking me which professor are we talking about. I've told her the Professor Theophilus and a professor of fertilizer. What actually Sabina is talking about is we need very straightforward and candid discussion on the matter of fertilizer. Number one, how did fake fertilizer end up in NCBB stores? What you've answered is how the fertilizer itself, but we are talking about the fake fertilizer, the SPL Innovate fertilizer. How did it get into the NCBB stores? The gel, what do you call, chemical fertilizer, the fake ones. You've told us that you signed a contract, the NCBB signed a contract to the SBL Innovate in 2022, that is on 31st March 2022, which is almost two years now. And then also in the same note, you've said every year you take samples to ascertain whether the fertilizer we have is okay or not. Now we've gotten ourselves into a quagmire of fake fertilizer. The samples for last year, are we able to know whether did you do the annual surveillance and what was the report on annual surveillance, whether the fake fertilizer was there or not? Or this fake fertilizer, when did it start? When did the rain start beating us on the issue of the fake fertilizer? So what we are asking is, how did the fake fertilizer end up in NCBB stores? Because, you know, a farmer will go to NCBB stores and trust that whatever is being sold in NCBB store is genuine and certified. Unlike maybe outside shops where you may doubt. But when you go to an NCBB store today and you go and buy something there, people will know that I'm going to the right place. It's just like I'm going to buy seeds at Kenya Seed. I'll know I'm buying genuine and certified seeds, unlike when I'm buying at the back street there. So we want to know, how did this fake fertilizer end up in NCBB stores?
Point of order, Chair.
Chair, because I was on a point of order. Just 1 minute, Chair, because I was on a point of order, he didn't allow me to finish.
Okay.
So, you know, you can also not come and tell us the shortcomings of that KEFIS. And we have an act that is as old as 2012, we are in 2024. If they came here and said, we want you to assist us with 1, 2, 3, don't just tell us the shortcomings. I've seen, I don't know how many staff members. Is he also even proposing that in this committee that we need to amend or help them with the regulations? So those are the, you know, I think we need to talk about real things, Chair. If I'm allowed, we can put away these questions and let's have a conversation. And I think that is the best approach. Let's have a conversation instead of this question number 1 was this, question number 2 was this. And even the other question you can ask the CS, do you have other information that you think is important for ourselves and also even for Kenyans that we may know, because we may have missed it in our questions. So let's not just do this reading question 1, question 2, but let's have the conversation so that we save Kenyans and we know how to get ourselves out of here.
Honourable members, I think we are jumping the gun. We were going to have a conversation with the CS. He has made his presentation. We will dissect the presentation, and we should get the answers from him, from the questions that we are going to ask from now on. So probably I would like us to be a bit orderly. Let him respond to your point of order, whether from now on you are going to react to the issues that are there. And of course we shall